Hargreaves, chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays offside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benny. Sills.
Hello and welcome to the latest Gull'S Eye View. We've got the four of us back. Hooray!
I'm back. I've got a bit of a cough. So
Dom's back.
I've got Lucasade.
Don't pull your hamstring within 2 minutes, Dom. Whatever you do, I know you just come back into it. Don't go out.
I've done a good stretching.
That's as positive as it will get this week. So Dom's back. Hello, Dom.
Hello, Sam.
Good. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Sam. How are you?
Hello, Tom.
Hello, lads. You're all very chirpy tonight.
Yeah.
Very formal, aren't we?
Well,
we'd have all gone mad otherwise, wouldn't we?
Yeah. So, Torquay United. Where do we even start this week? It's the same old.
How many times have you said that this season, Sam?
Worse and worse. You know, remember when about a year and a bit ago we lost 6-0 Wrexham and I quoted it rock bottom because we're bottom of the National League. I mean, rock bottom, how does it get worse than the 4-0 defeat to St Albans? I know we lost at Maidstone, but that is rock bottom now, surely. Will it continue to get worse? Well, I'm sure it will. So,
stop promising it's going to be rock bottom.
First of all, right, because
you're leading us down the alley, aren't you?
Exactly. I'll leave you to do the match walk because I am protesting. I wasn't there. I am boycotting. Do you not know how difficult it is to boycott your own football club? Like, about 50 times I was like, I'm just going to go. I want to go. I was like, no, because I just get very angry and then I'll just get to the same bit. And no, why should I keep under this horrible regime? But then it doesn't work because you just get more angry in a different place.
Can I just point out for viewers that the WhatsApp group for this group, he was madder than if he was there. Trust us on that.
Yeah.
I was. It doesn't work. I was just very angry in my nan's house instead of being very
angry
angry at Playmore. So it doesn't work. This boycotting thing doesn't work. I was like, oh, I'll get on, but I still like watching the scores come in and that. But anyway, Chris, Dom, you were there.
At least when you're there, you can shout.
Exactly. I'm just like, sorry, Nan.
I'm almost falling out.
He's as angry as me.
My dad's getting annoyed with me at games. That's how bad it's getting because he's quite laid back about it compared to me. And I mean, you saw me on Saturday, Chris. Did he jumping up? He just like
that was the highlight of the game when Halton
so angry.
Picked the ball, tried to do a quick goal kick, which just landed one bounce in the opposition goalkeeper's hands. And there's one person. I looked to left, and one person had stood up shouting and swearing. It was Tom. I was like, oh no. That's it. He's gone.
It's not very Grisso's bench,
is
it?
What happens is you try to detach yourself a little bit, don't you? I bloody care about this. This is these games are big to me. Every single game means a lot. I try and detach a bit and think, oh, if we lose, whatever. But I'm angry and annoyed. And Saturday was one of the worst performances I've probably ever seen from a Torquay United team. I mean, we were outclassed. This is St Albans. I mean, credit to them. They were good on the day. They played well. But I mean, boy, were we easy to play against, weren't we, Chris? I mean,
we were, and I think the thing
they could just cut through us, couldn't they? And they didn't have to work hard to do it.
Even with our structural failings that I've blithered on about, not just this season but last season as well, it just defies belief that they played out from the back like they did when we were there at St Albans. Tom, you probably can't remember that bit, but when we were at St Albans for the away game, but they played out from the back. Everything went along the floor. So the idea was, which complete opposite to Chippenham, where we seemed to just let them have the ball up to the halfway line, was to press high. But the problem was we were pressing with 2 forwards, 2 wingers, and 2 midfield players. So as soon as they got through the press, which they did quite regularly, they were 5-on-3, 6-on-4, and every time they came flooding through the midfield, and we had 6 players in front of the ball. It was just absolutely incredible.
They outworked us. Would work. To a man, they outworked us and outrun us. They only had to play up to the striker who would control it, bring it down, touch it off to a midfielder. Yeah, they were off. I mean, it was
even by Johnson standards. I was like, how would you think this would work?
It was 3-0 at half time. It could have been, we might have scored, but it could have been 5-1 easily. And it was just embarrassing.
How is Gary Johnson failing structurally so bad? I mean, one thing's just not been amazing there as a coach and whatever, but just I don't understand how does he not know the limitations of his play? It baffles me how anyone in this football club just looks from any perspective and go, yeah, no, this is going well. You know, like they say they don't need to look at, you know, what they're doing, but the whole football club all over it's just such a failure. You're all like failing to perform.
The thing I couldn't get my head around, Sam, was that to put it in a cricket analogy, it almost feels like sometimes there are two ways to get yourself out of a corner in a cricket match. You can either defend and build yourself into it, or just hit out and hope for the best. But it almost felt like, because we're in a bit of a tight corner, we've lost a couple of games. You know, we need to start winning some games. We're at home.
Yeah.
That it was almost like, get all the attacking players you've got on the pitch.
Yeah.
And just rather than trying to be solid and structured and get through the first 20 minutes and everything. Thank you. I've now got Man United badge on. But rather than, you know, trying to get through and just be strong, be solid and structured and build into the game and all of that, you would have thought that would be the thing to do. But instead, it was just like attack. Oh, crikey, it was 3-0 down. That didn't work. It's incredible.
We showed absolutely no respect for St Albans. We thought if we have enough attackers, push enough men forward, that'll be fine. We'll turn them over because we got better players. We don't have better players. We don't have a better coach. That they were out working us. They're part-timers, but they were stronger all around the pitch.
This football club has been overtaken so much.
Yeah, it was just a sad watch, and the supporters started to voice things, and even in Bristow's, you could hear the anti-Gary chants, which I don't think we've ever heard those before, Chris and R.
No, not as loud as that. There was a guy along our road, young lad who's at all the games, and he was kind of at it for most of the game, you know. But I think as much as anything as well, it's very much just, it's hard to kind of put into words just how difficult it was on kind of how we were, how big a difference there was between the two teams. It was just incredible. I mean, for a game like it of that kind of importance, almost in kind of the playoff race, and if you were a neutral watching that, you'd be thinking, crikey, how are this team where they are? Because it was they were.
I think that most of the season. I thought that most of the season we were talking. I don't understand how we're ninth. I don't understand how that high. I think we've been so poor in so many games, and it's all this. Oh, they're inexperienced. You're good enough, or you're not. I'm sorry.
I take that. I take the point. Doing the research that we do for this, listening to his press call today, that is a fair point in terms of, if you look at that team,
you might lose moments in games because of it, but you're either good enough or you're not. Not having that. With
no Aether, no Moxie, no Dawson, no Jarvik, there was no experience in that team at all, and that's not an excuse, but it is a fact to say actually they were a young group of blokes who just couldn't handle it.
Oh, just not good enough.
Before we conceded 4 goals, and Moxie was playing then, and we've had the
against a better team.
Best defence we can get out over the week.
These players, when they're the matter of fact is, these players, when we were talking about, as it's been pointed out many times, they were here at the start of the season and we were not good then.
No,
that's the point. We're not that they weren't good. The team is not good. You know, I've just been on and spoke to a Plymouth Argyle channel about Will Jenkins-Davies, and it's just like, yeah, no, it's great to talk about how good they are in Championship, isn't it? Well, we're in bloody
great.
But it's just like, we wasted these players. What's the point in bringing them and then just like not bothering playing through Jenkins-Davies? He's clearly got some ability here and there. Let's give the ball to him. You know, where's all that Gary Johnson? I know the league's changed. I mean, look at the National South where we were. The best teams with Billericay, and their owner, now managers, now on the run from the police. You know, I mean, that's a standard difference, of course. And the South are getting themselves together on limited budgets. They're doing well. I think a lot of these teams, and we're being made to look foolish, and quite rightly. I don't understand how it's took until now to realise we're not even going to get playoffs at this stage. It's like last season. Oh, we're only 2 points off safety. Oh, wait, we now have to win basically every game to stay up. It's just like that. It's just, it's so
sad.
It's just sad.
Reflection.
You can't, as Chris said, you can't put it into words how angry and how bad it is. You just laugh. Tom, you got anything to add to it?
Well, I mean, listen to it on the radio. It's just a sad reflection, and ultimately, our worst fears have come to fruition. You know, Playmore, the atmosphere, the whole negativity around the place. I mean, we didn't even know that Gary Johnson had a match suspension. Like,
yeah, it's pathetic. Everyone runs the club.
We've got all these players out injured and this, that, and the other. But you've got to G them up. You've got to go to battle. This is, you know, St Albans were playoff finalists last season and then got spanked in the playoff final. And, we could potentially, if we can get into the playoffs again, we could have to play them and they'll have no fear over us. And we're just a soft touch all over the place. I mean, even when we had a fully fit squad, we were squeezing results. I mean, you look at Braintree, we squeezed by them. We squeezed past relegation fodder like Dover a couple of weeks ago. It's poor, and the goals we conceded again, it's just pathetic. We have such a high defensive line, and there's just so much space for them to exploit. And Gary Johnson's gone on multiple times about, the home record's good. At least the home record's good, but can't have any more performances like that, because if the home form stops, then that's it. That's our challenge done for playoffs. And it's sad enough to think now that success is just squeezing into the playoffs at this rate, but it's not good enough for the football club. And for a community day,
we were sold as well that we're going to win the league. That's why we got season tickets.
And that's why we're all so frustrated about how the season's gone. And again, you just look at the scenes around the ground. I'm sure we'll go into it later on, but it's just not a pleasant place to be anymore. And that's down to ownership and their accountability.
The stewards as well. Like, what is this? You can't have a silent protest, peaceful protest at your football club anymore. I said it was propaganda 11 months ago. I dug up that clip for Twitter this week, and I worry that it will go that way. Every football club has banners. Southend were allowed theirs 11 months ago. As I said then, and I'll say it now, there's nothing threatening about this thing that says Gary out. We had it against Owers and all that stuff. It is embarrassing. And the stewards, I've always found they've made a lot of them. There's obviously some different ones as well. They've always made it quite an uncomfortable, intimidating ones compared to other football clubs I've gone to. The whole place, like Osborne said, he doesn't need a review within there, but he needs to review the people he's employing and look behind and see, I can think many people go in and could sort it out. I know he's under pressure at Swindon as well, and they're trying to move their stadium to like Reading, and it's just failing. Like, how can you be like such a unsuccessful team? Like,
and on a community day as well.
At a community day.
Supporters need people at the club they can get behind, don't they? People who make an effort, people you enjoy seeing, people who give leadership.
Where's the steering group gone?
You believe in them.
Where's the steering group gone?
We haven't got that. There's nobody at the club that I want to see there, unfortunately. I don't want to see Gary Johnson there. I don't want to see George Edwards about. There's nobody in the leadership roles that
inspired to us, talk to us, connect with community properly, not just virtue signal and give like the odd nice tweet and give a few tickets to community day. I know that's all good stuff. I want proper leaders in this football club.
I keep saying, we had those couple of years,
not these people who just say.
Under Nick, we had those couple of years under Nico, didn't we?
Yeah.
And he struggled. He wasn't a great manager, but you could get behind these people because you knew they were doing their absolute best to try and get the club through a difficult period. And you get behind those people. It's just such a struggle to get behind these people. Now, I always go to games wanting us to win, but the atmosphere is so bad. I
don't fancy going until the end of the season, until he's gone.
People are just there because they go. It's almost like a habit at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
People aren't really wanting to be there.
I don't want to be there.
It's tough.
You heard it on the radio that they actually stopped commentating for a second because the Gary out chants were that loud and made reference to it. And the people in Bristow seem to be a bit more forgiving, but he's lost the majority of the fans. That's scary, and you think that there's nothing. People inside the club
probably lost his players. They play like he's lost his players as well.
And I get the argument that negative atmosphere doesn't help the players, but football's a unique sport. You gotta find a way to just put an effort in, for goodness sake. That's all we ask. We've had many a crap football team at Torquay United in our lives. All I want is a bit of effort.
Yeah, they just look so disorganised. They
look lost.
They're so lost on the pitch. There's either they're not good enough to take the messages, or there's a breakdown in translation. All of that stuff. It's amateur. We are so amateur as a football club. Everything about it.
If you were a parent bringing your child to a community day, not seen Torquay United ever, or occasionally you've got a chance to go watch, would you go back?
No.
Would you go back? The whole club is toxic. It's rotten. It's a complete shambles. And the fact is, at the end of the day, the remit was win the league. The remit was promotion. We can still achieve promotion, that's for sure. And there's still time for this club to salvage that. But the way things are going, I fear we're not going to get anywhere near playoffs now. I think this is the start of a slope, and we're just going to plateau mid-table. That's how I see it at the moment. You can say Jarvis is coming back soon and Dawson, but do they really make that much of a difference at the start? I mean, Jarvis was scoring late goals, but again,
penalties.
The bit I still find,
if you're not playing,
the bit I still find kind of scarcely believable in all of this, and again, you say this isn't, I would say this isn't sustainable. What we saw last week will be the case, and I think what's the worry is it's gone beyond win a couple of games and it will go away, which is kind of the way it's gone beyond that. So even win the game, and it's not going to be any better. It's not going to improve in that sense. And the part about it, which and like the only phrase I can think to describe it, just thinking about it, is just the way the whole club seems to be tone deaf to the results almost. Because you listen to Johnson today, and the local journalist is saying to him, "You said you're not going anywhere. The owners are not going anywhere. So why don't the fans just get behind the players?" Well, I kind of get that. I kind of get what they're getting at, because actually, if they've said they're not going to sack the manager, he's not going to leave, then what's the point in going on about it? To a degree. But it's like he said today, in fairness to him, and like we would say, he's got to win some football matches.
Yeah.
Because whilst we're getting beaten and whilst we're sinking further away from the playoffs, it's not where we wanted to be. We didn't want to be scraping in the playoffs. So it's where we are right now. But there is no appetite from anybody, it would seem, to do anything about this.
No. Like it or lump it approach, Chris.
It is. It's just strange.
It's just it's no football club. I was going to say, there's no football clubs that's like this. I mean, it's so uneasy and just so this what they've done to our football club. You hang your heads in shame. You are failing us. You are failing this football club right now. So many individuals there, and you can blame everyone because it's never your fault. Of course, it's always everyone else's, and that's why we've gained this loser mentality. If they're even bothered, are you even bothered? You're just going to blame the fans. You're just going to blame anyone that's in your way. I'm so sick of these people that's ruined the club, and that's why I'm not going until there's a big change in the management and off the pitch as well, and a chance, and that won't happen for a very long time. And I'll still be, it's my football club, it's everything, it's my community, it's been my escape. Playing was my escape and all of our escapes for so many years, and I'll support every time I watch it. I was so gutted. We'll move on to Maidstone in a minute. I was so gutted when we lost at Maidstone. I still streamed it. I did stream it. I know I'm like, oh, you're not going to games, but I'll stream it. I thought I would, to see how it was. We do talk at the end of the day, and I was so gutted when we lost that. Still, it still hurts so much. And we were a little bit better in that game, but being proud of losing at Maidstone, is that where we are now? Great. But it's like
the old say though. You haven't watched, Chris, isn't it, Maidstone? Do you think you can bear that one? Could you?
No, I think I couldn't actually. That isn't. I felt like I was. I felt like I was being a traitor, and I kind of like I did, but because I've watched all the games I can't get to. But I just after Saturday was just. It sounds dramatic, but kind of it almost took so much out of you, being in the atmosphere, being in the way the result was so bad, and the performance was so bad, and it hurt so much. You just I just couldn't face it.
I can face it.
I also played that if I don't do it, they'll win hard as well, which almost worked. But it sounds like we were significantly better. 6 changes, 7
not
changes.
Hard though.
We
it's
were
not difficult. It's not difficult.
But that's the point.
Should we move on to the Maidstone game then? Was it just me who watched it, or Tom? Dom, did you watch it?
I watched it.
Okay, Tom, did you watch it? Okay, what do you think, Dom? Because I missed the first 20 minutes. I missed the first 2 goals, but I thought it was still weak. Like the goals were considered unacceptable. Mark also seems to be a totally different keeper when he's not playing on grass. He made 2 incredible saves, but I think
one of the saddest things is that it was actually one of the better games I've seen this season.
Yeah,
and that is the sad indication of how bad this season has been. Yeah. Because it was 2 teams going for a win, it had a fair bit of action about it. It was a bit
Dwayne
of a roller
coaster game.
I
mean, Dwayne up front. Good lads.
It actually gave me something to not exactly enjoy, but to get my teeth into. It felt like a proper game for a change. I mean, the first goal we gave away was so soft. Austin Booth just got caught ball watching. 3 minutes in, somebody went 1-0 down. You think, oh God, this is going to be a long evening. But
how many games has that happened in though? How many games have we lost the first goal?
The master of psychology just can't motivate his own players to switch on.
Chasing the game straight away, aren't you?
Yeah, caught cold, but I mean they did bounce back. You could tell what we were trying to do on Tuesday. There was no like attempt at fancy football to start with, was there, Sam? It was kind of get the big guy up front. Asa was pretty much near him. Get the
Asa
ball
was playing off Dwayne. That's what it
get
was.
Get the ball up as quick as you possibly can. Dean Moxey must have tried kicking the ball so long.
I mean, it's all right to have that as an attempt, but Gary Johnson, it's 2024. You can't just get through teams doing that. I actually don't mind long ball football. Like, I will watch Everton, but they do it well. Everton are great with set pieces under Everton, and they still play nice passing, quick football. That's what Johnson used to do. I actually don't have a problem with it. It's just this aimless stuff, and this is so embarrassing, honestly.
To my surprise, Maidstone played a lot of long ball as well. So
they weren't incredible at all. They were not good.
Maidstone, the big guy up front, Foul, who was trying to win the knock-ons, and they were playing off of that. So for about 20 minutes, I mean, my head was hurting watching it.
Yeah, the first half was not great.
Ball was just pinging left, right, bang, bang. And then Archer came on the second half from Moxey after we conceded another goal. And we started playing
early goal.
We started playing football that stage and think, right, okay, we can do this a little bit. And suddenly Maidstone were retreating a little bit, and we looked a better team.
That's what I'm saying. Play football. Have the occasional long ball, of course. Yeah. That's fine. I'm totally behind it. But just play football. We're not bad if we actually play football. But then as soon as you do start playing football, you score. When your defence is so set up for failure, what's the point? It almost feels like that. I mean, of course, nothing can really stop that third goal.
I think as well, though, but it's just
then we had a chance. We could have won it at that point. That was the thing. If we had any belief about us, but we were actually pushing a little bit harder. But of course, with our defence, you just like a mistake waiting to happen. Archer gives away the ball, and the guy bangs it in for 25 yards, and the game's gone. So even when you play a bit better, that's
strange thing, isn't it? Those first two goals, we have conceded, or so many goals just as a statement, was 50 goals in 30 games, which for a side that has aspirations to be in the top end of the league is never going to work, is it? We've got a minus goal difference now after these last two games, but they're just such poor goals again. That second goal, I think Halstead has to do better again.
Yeah,
because the bloke's coming into the byline.
I don't know how that goes through.
So weak defending in first place as well.
He's next to the post, isn't he? And then he takes a step out. I mean, if the bloke rolls it across the middle and someone puts it in, well, that's on your defenders, isn't it? But he takes a step out from the near post. It almost says to the bloke, put it in there if you like. And he's just why would you? And again, then you're chasing the game again. But yeah, looking at the chances, we had the chances with the Archer hitting the post, the new lad Arkell had that one-on-one where he's just got to go across the keeper and tries to go near. Yeah. But yeah, there was opportunity there.
The free kicks and corners were dangerous. We had as much of the game.
New lad's good as well. Yeah. But then would it be like Harris when we get him down to Torquay level all of a sudden? Because he did look really good. He's like sort of right back I want all season. Yeah. But
he looked competitive, didn't he? Put a few challenges and think, right, okay, you want to put yourself about a bit.
I really was happy with his performance.
Because you put in Dylan De Silva at right wing back. It's just.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells.
Handed, and that was our 13th loss of the season. It's incredible, really, isn't it?
Shame on all of you.
We've won 14 and lost 13 this season. It's just mental. But
There's
again,
some talk of us being invincible, sort of thing, wasn't there?
But then we never, we never
turn up at Dover,
But then we've got a terrible record there anyway, so maybe that wasn't a surprise. But again, you just think new set of eyes. We could have probably got something from that.
Had we been on a decent run, then Tuesday night could have been washed over a little bit. You said we played all right, we lost to a decent team. That's not too bad. But when you're on the run we're on, you've got to get some points from somewhere. We just keep losing.
Again. No,
we're used to losing at this point. That's the trouble.
Yeah, and this is a problem where this football club is. We got relegated from League Two. We went into the National League, and it was like, right, we're going to win more games. And all of a sudden, we got used to being one of the worst teams in the National League for a lot of years, and then down and up. And all of a sudden, we're now gone from being one of a, we've been relegated back to the South, and we should be promoted. Next, we're starting to trickle down. And if this club doesn't actually wake up, it's going to be a mid-table National League South team. If not worse.
Signs, and
because they're getting better. Momentum. We're getting worse.
Whoever thought it was a good idea to tweet that it was 10 years last weekend since we won 1-0 at Portsmouth in League Two needs to have a look at themselves as well. That didn't help me last Saturday either.
Still got relegated that season, but
Yeah, we were still relegated.
Yeah. If that doesn't show you where
that was a great day though, that
failure was getting relegated from League Two, then disaster was, and now look where we are. I mean, the club's been on decline since the League Two playoff final against Stevenage.
Failure for Gary Johnson. He'd losing any game, didn't he? Look how angry he got during his first 2 years, and he'd chew out the players. Some of you are going to be leaving too.
Like Lolos and that, and all those sort of players.
When we were doing all right in National League. Now it's you gave it a bit of a go, lads.
Well done, you gave it a bit of a go, and we've just lost our 13th game of the season.
But what does he say in the dressing room before they go out? Does he not say, right, let's keep it tight for the first 5-10 minutes, don't give anything away? Maidstone, we've conceded 2 goals, 2 goals, and beginning of the first half and beginning of the second half. It's just,
Does anyone get angry at our club?
But I tell you what I thought was most telling.
Oh, surely.
I get angry.
But I tell you what, I think what was most telling was the away following on Tuesday night, and full credit to anyone who went there.
Full credit.
But let's be frank here. Well, I personally feel Tuesday night at Maidstone, you probably would expect
150.
150, maybe double that. Double what we had there Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I know the travel club didn't go, and there's a lot of fans.
Community club, community day really boosted Saturdays as well. Let's be honest, obviously. But that's just, I think it's the only way it will start to be, or we're hurting our pocket. I don't see it making a difference, but it doesn't make a difference for me because I'm a season ticket already. But it's that's how you visit people.
Will this dwindling attendances prompt him into?
Well, where's the steering group then? Where is the steering group? Where's all these promises? It almost feels like. We're going to see episode 2 and we talk a bit more. It almost feels like when there was talk of the protests and it went to the ITV News through the TUS before Tonbridge, it almost felt like George Edwards or whoever got told, come on now, sort this out. And then suddenly had to be, right, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do a fans forum, we're going to do that, you're going to get a steering group. It probably won't be a democratic one, and all this sort of thing like that. Where is it? And will it actually be proper? Will it actually be... where's it all gone?
Who wants to be involved with our owners? That's the trouble, isn't it?
Yes, because you say they're ready. I don't know. It's just terrible. It's just all virtue signaling, that whole fans forum. Where is it? A stupid statement worth nothing. Professionals are you? Professionals with the honour of our football club, and you're professionals. Yeah, we're professionals in failure at the moment. So keep it up. Great work. So anyway, we'll see you in part 2, and we'll see what obviously our fans have been saying about the football club, which I don't reckon it's going to be much different to us, but it's probably all our fault anyway, because we're probably quite negative in that, aren't we? So everything must be fine in La La Land of Playmore. So, okay, we'll see you in part 2.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay! Chris Hargreaves, the captain! If he stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells!